So anyway, let's get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. Um, yeah, we'll start off with the story of a relevant story to our previous discussion. Um, the time that Robert and I went down to Vegas, and the hotel staff thought we were gay. Literally. What part of those pictures screamed gay? You know what? That's a fair point. Up in Vermont, it makes me look like a drug dealer, however. It's fair enough. I don't wear beanies, however, when I'm not, when it's not like 20 degrees out. I actually wear a Vietnam camo hat. Vietnam military camo hat, yeah. Yes. So anyway, the thing is that it was a multi-stage failure rocket. Right. So my mother had rented the room for us because, it was supposed to be my birthday present, I guess, sending me to Vegas alone with a friend. But I, I'll take it. Look, okay. But so when she rented the room, she didn't know if her and her husband were going to be there. So the room was actually rented under his name for the four of us. But at some point, she had told them that she wasn't coming, but she never told them that he wasn't going. So it, on the register, looked like three dudes going to Vegas, sleeping in one bed. Yes. But the thing was is that it was just me and Rob though. But no, it did not. Because it was, like I said, so this is a multi stage rocket of failure. So the next stage of failure was just the two of us showing up and being like, oh yeah, he won't be here. He won't be joining us. So, yeah. And then it gets worse. So they lead us up there. They lead us up there. And it's fucking hot out, okay? So we're in Vegas. It's July. So fucking four hotels caught on fire from the sheer heat. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a uncommon occurrence. In fact, it's pretty common for the tops of the hotels to catch fire. But so it was middle of the fucking desert. That too, probably. Now the thing here is that it was very hot. And Rob and I are from the Northeast. And hot does not do it for us. So, us, thinking we got the rest of the day to ourselves, we're just like, oh, fucking hell, let's shuck these goddamn sweat covered clothes off ourselves and relax in the AC. And then we have a knock at our door. And we're both just looking at each other like, what? So I go to answer the door. Now, keep in mind, I'm tired. I just got off of like an 8-hour flight. I answer the door, shirtless with only my pants on. Rob's down to his underwear. And there is a hotel employee with wine and a cake saying, I was told it was your birthday. And then she looks at the room and goes, oh, I can come back. Is this a bad time? No! That was like a second after she got over the deer in headlights of both me and Rob shirtless. Because let me tell you, mile models we are not. But no, we assured her that nothing like that was going to be happening, and that she could fill it in. And we never talked to any of the hotel employees again. Yeah. So let's get on with the fan fiction. Yes. It's not gay if you say no homo. Well, see, the problem is that Rob is the sort of person who tried to convince us that it's not gay if you suck dick. That was a solid 30-minute. Yeah. It was something like that, yeah. Yeah, it also makes for a very. It does make it for a very funny mental image. Like, you're in the zombie apocalypse, you're gunning down your neighbor who's now screaming at you, top of their lungs because they've been infected by some sort of disease that causes them to go on a cannibalistic rampage. And there you are with your three people that may or may not be your friends that you probably just met, and you're shouting at each other about whether or not it's gay to suck dick. It really sets the scene. If this was a movie, it really would set the scene for the kind of comedy you should expect from the movie. Is he the type to talk about the feminine penis? Yes. Yes, he is. He is unfortunately an urbanite. There's a reason why I don't talk to him too often. But with that being said, you know what? What have we not done recently, actually? We've gone through the gamut, yeah. Have we done Ruby recently? Is last week your cutoff point, Max? That's fair, I suppose. Actually, if I go in here, oh, I got Soul Eater up. We haven't done that in a long while. Warhammer, probably. Let me just go to the W section. Wolves, yeah, there's two of them. Two Warcraft ones. Oh. So we got Purge the Witch and Demon Eater. Assuredly, both of these are absolutely fucking awful. We got the 13 chapters with 11k words. Surely this is good. And we got 3 chapters, 13k words, and it was last updated in 2018. So, take what you get, I suppose. I barely search for fics anymore, and I'm surprised how many there are for Beyblade. I believe that's because Beyblade actually made a resurgence with my little brother's generation. Yeah. My favorite part about the original Beyblade was always the fact that the Beyblades just rained from the sky, and all the children went out and picked them up and were like, "Bruh, we could." Yeah, and they're like, "Bruh, we could totally hook these up to our Beyblades." Yeah, bro, let's do it. It's like, what? Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's no longer illegal to just throw a Beyblade into the arena with a metal ring around it now. Yeah. Well, of course they do! Oh, wow, yeah, this musket still blows a hole through people! Yeah. Yeah. Oh my fucking god! There's a weirdly extreme amount of science. The Max isn't coming on over Twitch. Wait, is what? Oh no, OBS reset my audio settings again. Let me just fix that. Yeah, this again. Um, yeah. Uh, no. All right. That should fix it.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yep, it fixed it. Okay, yeah, you're coming in clearly now. That's unfortunate. Keep
Man.
talking,
Yeah,
react to a convo we can't hear. Fuck you. Anyway,
man.
this is Fanfiction
Anyways,
Theater
yeah.
9005, episode 44. I'm your Sneaky Devil. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually do want to meet the mad lad that's like, I'm gonna sit and figure out the science of the specific design that can
They're
do
like,
this.
it wasn't just that. There was a lot of oddly impressive toy design that went into the Beyblades.
Oh, there
Yes.
was. Like, one of the early ones I remember was, it had a spring-loaded launcher in the Beyblade.
Yeah, and it's
So
just like,
once it interacted enough times, it would jump, and if you were lucky, it would land right on your opponents and just knock them the fuck out.
I still remember that in the fucking show, where it's just like, why he jumped on my Beyblade? Oh,
Oh, wasn't there a mariachi player and it just started tap
yeah,
dancing? It's like, wait, hang on.
Beyblade.
Something's wrong
But
here.
like, as far as the actual game goes, Beyblade was shockingly simple and robust. As far as the show goes, it's up
It
there
was
with
a
Oh,
like
mad crack
the
adventure.
the show
it
had
is up there
fun.
with like Payday lore, where
Yeah,
it's just like,
oh,
what?
one
What?
of my favorite things from the original Beyblade was there's this character, absolutely massive lad. Um, and he couldn't use a launcher
Yeah.
because his brute strength was so great he broke launchers every time. So a lab picked him up, said, we're gonna have you on our team. We're gonna design a Beyblade that can withstand your strength, and we're gonna figure this out." And they did the experiments like, all right, this is how much force that he puts into launching. So they just made a bazooka for him that fires an equivalent force.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that was the cheapest option.
Yeah.
Which also
God.
means that they had to get it approved by the World Beyblade Association. Like, hey, this dude has to use this rocket launcher. Is this okay?
I, it's just fucking wild, especially with how it's like, especially with how down to reality like the first couple episodes were, because they were very much just like, oh, I'm an up and coming kid and I'm gonna go win me the tournament. And then it's then suddenly like just like kicks into high gear. It's like, you must
Yeah.
feel the soul of your Beyblade, and then he starts like using the soul of the Beyblade to win, and then all of his
Oh,
opponents start like
it.
realizing the
Oh
souls of their own Beyblades, and they start like
no.
shooting shit at each other. It's like, what the fuck
Oh
is going on?
no, Sneaky. Let's be fair here. It was an unspoken. It was like the worst kept secret that a lot of people had Beyblades that just straight up had spirit beasts in them. It started getting weird around episode 3 when episode 1 and 2 was like, I gotta make the Beyblade go faster to hit harder.
Yeah.
Like, oh, longer rip cord if you get a running start, blah blah. Episode 3 comes in, it's like, I can now
Soul of
make
the
it go so fast,
Beyblade.
it spins so fast it disappears from view. And it's like, wait,
Wait, what?
no,
Yeah.
hang on. Hang on a second. And then episode 4 is like, by the way, bit beasts are things like, what do you
And
mean?
then there was
What's a bit
shit like
beast?
I'm like I'm dredging shit up for my brain now of like the one episode where I think it was the main character like bounced the Beyblade off the side of the arena to make it sail in the air and tilt sideways, so it started spinning sideways on top of his opponent's Beyblade, and
I
like
remember that. That was a finishing move.
it's just like, what?
That show was cracked, and honestly,
Apparently,
kids
since
don't know
we've
what
been
they're
on the wiki,
missing.
it only got wilder.
Oh yeah, no, like
Oh
I
yeah,
said,
it just
it
got
only
insane.
gets
Yeah, no.
wilder.
Yeah.
Max, is that what awaits the future of build divers?
Yes.
Build Divers, it's got a lot to live up to still.
All right, to be fair, making an extra dimensional AI that's going to destroy the world because it's fucking lonely is a pretty good start.
It
Anyway.
is, but like they aren't taking it far enough. And what I mean by that is they're not doing weird pseudoscience yet, which is what Beyblade eventually devolved into. Like
True.
Sneaky, do you remember when engine gears were introduced?
Engineers? Ah, I don't
No,
think so.
engine gears.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the last 2 to 3 episodes was the main character versus his rival, and the rival's like, I have a reverse spinning engine gear, and everyone's like, oh God, what does that even do? And I'm sitting there as a middle school, like, wait, that should stop his spin.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
What do you think? What do you
Don't worry.
guys?
Don't,
It's a reverse spin. What do you think will happen?
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I actually had the basic Dragoon from that season. I figured out how to tear it apart, tighten the spring, and modify the engine gear so that it was a lot more dangerous. Whoops.
Bad
Oh,
Max.
jeez. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, when that thing cranked into gear, you could physically hear it.
Jesus Christ, Max.
Uh,
Stop making
unfortunately,
illegal modifications to your Beyblade.
Didn't
unfortunately,
one guy have
the
a flamethrower on his Beyblade?
I think his Beyblade was a flamethrower.
Yeah.
All
Like,
right, all right.
unironically.
Hear me
Yeah.
out. Hear me out, Sneaky.
Yeah.
The AdMech designs a Beyblade.
It wouldn't work.
It would only work half the time.
And then explode on the other half. So we got
Listen, if it explodes in the arena, but it still remains in the arena, it can technically win.
That's true.
That it
Anyway,
like
so you asked about the Warcraft Soul Eater crossover section. Unfortunately, it's hyper
I
dead.
said actually, I asked for Warhammer.
Yeah, well, you asked for both. I'm not gonna bother reading the Warhammer ones. They were just really cringe. Okay, they're boring cringe.
it doesn't look like there's much substance there.
Yeah, the Warcraft ones are even deader. Published 2012, and then
Jeez.
Soul Eater Warcraft crossover challenge. Please read it.
Brownie face.
Hello, reader. This is Story Challenge. The challenge is making Soul Eater Warcraft crossover. The reason is why is because I've been looking for a Warcraft Soul Eater crossovers, and I've found none, so I'm challenging you people to write one. Here are the details.
I can't write this, but I bet someone else can. So you should write this.
Me?
You know-
Characters can be any following: Sol Maka, Korstraza, Alexstrasza, Ronin, Verisa Windrunner, Verisa Windrunner.
Oh boy. Verisa is the youngest of all three of the Windrunner sisters.
I don't even remember the Windrunners.
There are three Windrunner sisters. There's Ilaria,
All of them are
who-
bad people.
Come on, guys,
The
come
best
on.
one is Verisa.
No,
who
Gray,
didn't
it's
leave-
Verisa.
Oh god damn it. The only good one is the youngest one, who didn't leave her child behind, or children behind, and to go gallivanting across the
I
stars.
was gonna say, let's be clear. The other Windrunners abandoned multiple, not just a child, multiple children.
No, they didn't.
No, Erator, her was the only child.
Yeah.
Sylvanas died, and without getting married.
Okay, well, no one cares
then-
about Sylvanas. Sylvanas was a subhuman.
Valeria went off and became a void elf.
And left her child behind, and Verisa is the only one that remained with the children.
Then she abandoned them too to go fuck a human.
No. She had children with the human,
Fair enough, yeah.
and
This
took care of the
story
other half-elf.
must not have any character switching between the WoW world, the World of Warcraft world, okay, and Soul Eater world more than once. This must include all dragonflights if set in World of Warcraft world. If you don't know any Ove, the main characters, oogle them, so I think simple enough. I would like read, use story, PM me, or place in the reviews the name of the story. Oh yeah, no original story characters, OC love. Bye, good luck. Barisal is from Texas and uses guns to commit war crimes. Now, Jen, she can't commit war crimes. That's not a thing in Warcraft yet. How does that make you guys feel?
I mean, it makes me grateful as a member of the Horde.
Dude.
Because, we've probably committed about 5 more than the Alliance.
So then we got the only other story here, called Many Worlds. Sabrina is normal teen with powers trying to save multiverse with closest friends. Yes, just a normal teen. But when Earth, Azeroth, and Soul Eater World are in danger, it's up to them to protect the not fictional places they love. But when Sabrina best friend Ariana fall in love with wrong guy, it may steer the task at hand off course. Kid times OC, Arthas times OC.
Listen, we don't need Arthas times anything except, shit, what was the sword? What was the sword that ended his fucking life?
Frostmourne.
Yeah. No! Frostmourne wasn't what killed him.
Ashbringer?
Oh, Ashbringer.
Ashbringer. Okay, I
Well,
mean,
pick-
okay, if you want to be super technical, Frostmourne did kill him.
Yeah.
Yes. The one that ended the Lich King is the one you're going for.
I will be honest with you guys. This sounds like generic 2012 young adult fantasy. Like
Yes.
this summary reads pretty much word for word what I saw on the backs of at least 4 different YA novels back in 2012 when I used to buy books. So, I mean, kudos to the author for that, I suppose. How bad can the grammar possibly be? Oh, holy shit!
Pretty bad, I take. Oh. Ew.
How bad is it?
It's pretty bad.
It's,
I don't want to look at it.
It's,
Focus of my homies.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll drink to that.
Cheers. What you doing?
We spun the wheel of random
this.
pain. We discovered more pain.
We spun the wheel of pain and
I
looked in sections we don't normally look in. This is our reward.
I opened the stream and I feel like I
You too
shouldn't
have received the gift of pain.
There's a
I
reason
will
I don't
drink
have the
that.
stream up.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
That's
I have
the
been
whole
drunk.
chapter.
I've been
Oh.
drunk for the last 4 hours, Sneaky, and
Not drunk enough.
I feel like drinking more.
Yeah, I can drink to that.
Cheers.
The Kingdom of Los Angeles. Sorry, Los... Angels is? No, is that really correctly spelled? I can't tell if I'm
Los
drunk.
Angeles.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
I think
Los
that's
Angeles. They actually spelled Los
okay.
Angeles correctly. Fucking, well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, which is too much for Los Angeles, to be honest.
Yeah, almost.
Excellent.
This is just, we are all 4 of us are witches, and we have the 4 main powers of reality. Life, electricity, animals, and the cosmo.
Yeah.
Some of those are
fucking
Author. Author.
Allah willing, we shall purge the non-believer.
Life, electricity, animals, and the cosmos. The 4 elements of reality.
Which one is the awesomest?
Which one is the awesomest? Can you guess? Oh, fucking animals
Well-
isn't a superpower.
I mean, white women's be like.
Why wouldn't be like I have a superpower? It's the ability to breed with anything.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh god. Her 4 powers are Earth, Water, Time, and Hope. What?
Wait. Fauna, Gura, Crony, Iris. Oh no.
My other best friend has 4 powers, which are Song, Invisibility, Feelings, and Kindness. White women
yes.
be like my superpower is feelings.
My superpower is being kind. Women
I mean,
moment.
listen, that's decidedly a superpower amongst them when they get over 40.
True.
My last friend's powers are emotions, which, by the way, are different than feelings. Day and
Yes,
night,
of course.
which is different from time and the space, and colors. Wow, can you talk about getting the short end of the stick? We got Miss Cosmos here. We got fucking invisibility. Oh, by the way, her cosmic powers allow her to open portals to other dimensions. Yeah.
And also feel feelings.
We got song, invisibility, feelings, and kindness. I still think song, invisibility, feelings, and kindness is still better off than emotions, the day-night cycle, and color. My superpower be color.
Motherfucker got the RGB lights on their keyboard and never looked back.
I know what friend is the bottom of the ladder. Yeah. Oh yeah, the second
True.
friend is Earth, Water, Time, and Hope. Like, Jesus Christ, if you want to talk about, like, nearly as OP as Cosmic and Life.
I mean, third one, clearly the bottom feeder
Yeah,
of the bunch.
Oh god. The
Literal fish.
Oh, holy shit, I needed this laugh.
War-
I'm glad we can
Warcraft
this.
Soul Eater. Oh yeah, you deserve this pain, you motherfucker. God.
Alright, let's see some Teen Titans, Danny Phantom. Did you watch either of those, Atin?
Know very well what the answer to that is.
No, they're a sin against God.
I mean, they are, but
Allah willing, we shall purge the non-believer.
Alright, so we got a Danny Phantom story here. Who the fuck is Star? Who the fuck is Star?
Why are you looking at
Yeah,
that
like
fandom?
I should no. Oh, it's the cheerleader. The pretty sure she's supposed to be the blonde bimbo in the cast. I think she was later in the series though.
Star does not have many speaking lines, but often appears alongside Paulina. No, she was in season 1.
Okay then.
She just apparently she really didn't have lines. Like,
Yeah, I kind of recognize the character design, but not. It's not really
I do
sticking.
not remember that character at all.
That's because she was literally just there to be a yes girl to Paulina.
I see.
So we have Dreamt by Flower Princess 11. Star loves her boyfriend Danny Phantom very much and dreams of a future with him. However, things will soon turn into a nightmare when Nocturne is back for revenge and once again traps all of Amity Park in a never-ending dream, including Danny. Now, Star has to save everyone before it becomes permanent. Takes place between Unprepared and Mistaken. Oh no. They have a whole series.
This person should have their writing license revoked.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Haram.
Is there was it just called a Westaboo?
Yeah, I guess.
Because
Cartoonaboo.
yeah, like 99% of the shit they're writing here is
Person
oh
who
my
should
god.
absolutely have
My
plastic
dad the rock
explosives
star.
thrown in their
Holy
window in Minecraft.
shit. That is a dead giveaway for what generation you were born to.
Oh my god, I remember that. Also,
Yeah.
My Life as a Teenage Robot,
Uh,
highly underrated.
highly
Like,
underrated. That was actually an
Great
excellent
show, that one.
Yeah. Mhm.
Probably, but I don't care.
My-
This person still
Oh!
gets the bomb.
Dear Lord, my dad the rockstar. Yeah, that's okay.
My dad the rock star. Yeah, that was
Oh,
a show. And you can tell they're a woman because they tell you their astrology.
I mean, all things
sign.
considered, like, my dad is actually like
They're
the
also
idea for the show was
American.
kind of funny. Like, oh, what if the kid, right? The kid is just trying to be fucking normal, and dad's like, "Oops, hang on, got bitches."
Yeah. Which I mean,
Yeah.
overall, the idea slash premise itself is interesting. Of a child who doesn't want to be caught up in their father's fame. Like
Well,
that's
that's cool and all,
interesting. But
who the
yeah,
fuck
holy
asked?
shit. Mistaken. Star and Danny are eager to go out now that she's no longer grounded. However, things might not be so easy when a ghost mistakes Star as the reincarnation of his old crush and tries to separate her from Danny. Danny be able to save her and clear up the misunderstanding. Takes place after Unprepared. While preparing to spend time with her father, Star becomes jealous after meeting his new girlfriend.
They have just a whole thing going here.
Sussy Boca.
Oh.
Kinda
God.
suspicious, not gonna lie.
I have a lot of words for this, and 99% of them are gonna get me banned on Twitch.
True.
Star is just a blank slate. Yeah. Yeah, and the author is shipping herself with Danny. She is convinced that there must be something wrong about their relationship. Meanwhile, Danny gets caught in the middle of it when Star becomes suspicious of the woman. Sequel to Cursed. Shit, fucking Jesus Christ. Motherhood, what the fuck? Hey Arnold! Title Motherhood! That's dangerous. That's dangerous. God, hey Arnold, hey Arnold, hey Arnold. What the fuck is Cursed? Danny and Star are excited to spend their first Valentine's Day together. However, a certain ghost decided to spoil everything by cursing them. Now the couple has to test their love while dealing with the ghost, Colette's tricks, and Quan's attempts to get back with Star. Meanwhile, Sam feels confused about her own feelings when someone leaves her a note, which is a sequel to Sick. Oh my god, how deep does this rabbit hole go?
Too deep.
Sick. It's Danny's birthday and Star is determined to make it perfect. However, Star gets a cold and chaos happens at the Fenton world as they try to set up the party. Can Star still give Danny a good birthday?
of all the characters in Danny Phantom to latch onto, why this one?
takes place after Forgotten. Star and Danny's relationship is tested when their quarterversary is coming up. However, a fight with Skulker
Oh, that is
results
the
in Danny.
clingiest fucking weird ass red flag girlfriend shit.
To be fair, though, it is completely in line with the fucking blonde cheerleader vibe. Like, that is.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm
Yeah.
still saying it's weird.
It is very weird. However, a fight with Skulker results in Danny forgetting more than just the milestone. Now, Team Phantom struggles to get Danny to remember he is Danny Phantom, and Star struggles to get Danny to remember that he is her boyfriend, sequel to Found. Alright, so I would like to point out here that that was already a story in Danny Phantom at the canon. The whole Danny forgot thing. That was done like twice, at least. Oh god. This person is crushing hard on Danny. Holy shit. Remembered. Star reflects on a certain special memory involving her and her boyfriend at the eve of their quarterversary. Midquel to Forgotten.
I swear on God. What the fuck is a midquel?
I can only assume it's a sequel that takes place halfway through the story. Yeah, interquels.
I will actually plant
interquels.
plastic explosives within the premises. This is not a threat, it's a fucking promise.
You mean a blessing?
Allah willing, it shall be.
Listen, as long as you get the rest of us, I'm okay with it.
Understandable.
Yes.
Detroit shall be nothing but a memory. Well, Chicago, I guess.
Lion King 1. Okay, so we're looking for Found. Star house sits for Danny while he is away on a family vacation. She thought it would be easy. However, things have proved to be anything but easy when she finds a little girl with ghost powers. Who is she, and why does she look really similar to her boyfriend? Okay! We have found it, ladies and gentlemen! We have found the origin story.
Credit to him, that was very well hidden.
Yeah,
Blood.
there's a lot of fucking stories in between here and now. So that's impressive. But
Yeah,
still, that's,
unfortunately, this author still breathes to this very day. Together we can fix this.
I'm just very
With one small donation of $9.99, you two can help us end this fucking tragedy.
Yes, I'll definitely take the money.
Exactly.
Ghost in the Machine. During Vlad Master's darkest hour, a miracle happens in front of him, but he's too blinded by rage to realize it. The miracle is that Vlad's Danny program, which inspired him to clone the original in the first place, became self-aware and attempts to find a way to show him that his perfect son is still alive, that he still exists. Official Danny Program AU fanfic.
Okay.
The official what?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Sneaky, why the fuck are we still in this section?
Because I find
You
it
had
funny.
to see where the rabbit hole went, my man.
Yeah, we have seen where it goes.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, it's a whole. Oh no! Okay, so here's the origin of this. Danny Program AU is where Vlad creates an empty clone body vessel for Danielle to fuse with so he can finally become a real boy. Or you ask, this is 100% Vlad only biological clone, none of that 50% Danny nonsense from 10 year later concept. What? What gets worse? The only part of him that's considered the same as the original Danny is the programming that helped form his personality, and that's how they share a soul. Due to his unique digital DNA, Vlad had to implement technology inside of his body to protect his core, so Daniel most likely has nanobots to help him regulate everything, so his father can monitor his vitals in case something goes wrong. Not that Vlad plans to let Daniel do any fighting, since he's not a self-proclaimed hero like Danny. He's the son of Vlad Masters, which means they are family, and he plans to share Daniel's existence with the world. Then it means he's going to have his hands full dealing with the public. But one good thing about originally being a program is that he learns quickly, which is good since Daniel will eventually learn how to control his ghost tech-based powers. What?
This has been a roller coaster.
It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a
In a
ride.
good way.
I have not been listening, to be honest, and I think that's a good thing.
I am
Absolutely.
truly just blown away by also program that learns quickly, so he's got chatbot AI. So what you're saying is he's about to become racist.
I'm gonna say the
Hey,
N-word.
2.0.
Oh, Tay, you were taken from us too soon. Ghost God versus Ghost Dragon by the Ghost God. This has nothing to do with
Sneaky.
any characters from the Danny Phantomverse.
It's
This
not
is just
Ghost
about
God.
my OC who fights a ghost dragon.
It's Ghost God.
This has nothing to do with the Danny
It's me, the
Phantomverse.
Ghost God.
I just want to write about my character fighting a dragon. You know what? At least the guy's honest.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
appreciate the honesty.
Utter nonsense. Wanted, a life in the middle of nowhere where one can disappear. Ignored, left alone. Hermit style, out in woods sort of vibe. Okay, that notion might be off the table. But it was still the middle of nowhere, and that seemed best at this moment. Besides, farmers and country folk live simple lives. Right? And Danny could use a lot of anything the exact and direct opposite of utter nonsense. I mean, I give kudos to the summary. It could definitely use some rewording, but it's not terrible. Like a 6 out of 10. Um, Danny times Ember. What? No, we're leaving. We're leaving. There's too much horny here. We're leaving.
Too much.
Understandable.
Yeah.
As it should be.
We're leaving. Full Metal Alchemist. We haven't done that in a while.
Sneaky, come on. You said you said we were not gonna go look for horny.
Oh, it's all horny. 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 OC. Horny. Horny. OC. Horny. OC. Horny. Horny, horny, horny. Horny, horny, horny.
Det onsdag fabel skjer.
A humor adventure story featuring an OC isekai. I see. Horny, 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 and horny. Okay. Yep. Well, that's the Full Metal Alchemist section. Alright, so, Naruto, give us, please, grant us onto an abuse fic, please. I want to make fun of something.
Oh my god. Sneaky, no, you've
Become
said
as
the wrong.
gods.
Also, shit, is there any... Surely someone's in Fire Emblem and Warhammer.
Probably.
Surely someone's made that abomination.
But I don't know anything about Fire Emblem, so I'm not going to look it up.
Fair.
Yeah, understandable.
Blue-haired man,
I
good.
will be
Enemy
racist.
soldiers, bad.
Yeah. The Last Princess of the Whirlpool by Dragon Hazel. One morning, she wakes up as Uzumaki Kikuko, twin sister of Naruto. Join Kikuko on her journey through the shinobi world from attending the academy to her first C-rank mission gone wrong. When everything falls apart, she runs to the one place she knows is safe. Ushigakugurkur. She is the last princess of Ushigakugurkur, and she will not fail. So, what I'm getting from this story summary here is the twin sister of Naruto is raised with Naruto. They go on their first C-rank mission. C-rank mission goes crazy. And her reaction to C-rank mission going crazy is to turn traitor, abandon her country by going AWOL, and flee to the air quotes safe genocided island.
I mean, if
of
the island has
Uzumaki.
if the island's been
but you see,
genocided,
Sneaky, she was blessed by the light of Allah.
Probably.
Yep.
But see, the problem here, Atin, is that it took 3 countries to kill the Uzumakis,
yep.
which means that they probably. So I'm going to err on the side of canon suggestions, where Uzumakis were quite involved with sealing, which means that they likely set up a shit ton of traps. They likely set up so many traps that it took 3 countries devoting their armies to kill them, when they were significantly smaller than all of them. But they were still killed in the end. But much like Bosnia, that doesn't mean all of the landmines were set off.
True.
Well, it's also possible that that island has been reduced to the same as a battlefield in the Third War.
But, Sneaky, have you considered the true solution? Humanitarian rocket artillery.
Fair enough.
You know what? Hey, then we don't have to have dogs risking their lives.
Actually, we use rats.
Exactly.
I know we use rats now, but
Both.
it was
to be
dogs at one
honest.
point.
Yeah, that's fair. Now I will say, however,
Sure, there's an elven hospital over there filled with dying victims. Load up
Excellent.
the rockets.
as I was
The
saying,
MRS will deal with them.
it's not exactly a location I would call safe. Yes, there might be no one trying to kill her there, but that doesn't mean that the landmines won't blow her up regardless.
I
Now,
mean,
again, to be fair, however, you could be like, oh, well, her Uzumaki blood triggers the friend or foe tag on all of the landmines, and so they don't blow her up. And I would be like, okay, fine. But she doesn't know that. Jin says, so she runs to some ruins that have been long abandoned and have no civilization, and abandons her brother, who, by going by canon, would literally drag her back to Konoha no matter the cost. Yes, you do have to consider, however, canon is going to be a little bit different due to the fact that Naruto grew up with a twin sister, which probably nothing would change, meaning that he would be likely extremely obsessed with his twin sister in a non-sexual way.
You might be giving this fanfiction writer a little too much credit with
Yeah.
that last one.
Oh, I'm not talking about the fan fiction writer. I'm just talking about the general idea of if Naruto had a twin sister, what would change and how would his personality pan out?
There should be massive changes from that.
Not really. If you really consider it, that it's still gonna prevent anyone from adopting him. It's really gonna prevent him from making any friends. He's going to become very reliant and what's the word I'm looking for? Dependent on his twin sister, so he won't be looking for anyone to give him good vibes. But he will be obsessively looking for his twin sister to give him good vibes.
So yes, there would be massive changes then.
Yes, but no.
It's a fundamental rewrite of his personality, which is
Not
part of the driving force behind the major conflicts in his story.
yes, but no.
Otherwise,
Because
why
also
introduce the character?
because they canonize the fact that Naruto has quote unquote prankster blood running in the family and shit like that. They canonize those personality aspects of his as being, oh well, what's that? You ended up as a prankster. You're just like your mother. Wowee! It's like okay. I kind of do hate that, by the way. When stories
Oh,
do that.
assigning personality to genetics like that?
A little bit, yeah. Because I mean, is it to be expected that the child would likely take after the parent? Yes, obviously. Do I think that's all genetic? No, of course I don't think that's all genetic. I think a child who had two parents who were happy-go-lucky partiers, who instead grew up as an orphan in a system and was constantly abused and passed around between orphanages and was generally just like I don't know, shit on because he was a white kid in a urban environment or some shit. Like, do I expect him to be some sort of happy-go-lucky partier because his parents were? No, of course not. That'd be really weird if he actually was. It'd probably mean he would have some mental problems, and he's probably repressing a lot of issues. Yeah, and as Jin says, he would probably be even more dependent on a twin sibling. And would be wholeheartedly even more focused than he would be on Sasuke. Than like he was with Sasuke. He'd be focused on getting the twin sibling back. Honestly, though, I think if anything, in this sort of scenario, if the twin sibling abandoned Konoha, Naruto would likely just follow them.
I guess.
He
Probably,
would just
yeah.
abandon Konoha with them.
I mean,
Bye.
Yeah.
who cares?
Not much of a loss for him.
Yeah, like I said, like he wouldn't have formed the codependence that he would have formed on people like Izuka. Now, I won't say that with 100% certainty because parental figures are still parental figures. And as orphans, I wouldn't be surprised that they would still latch on to people like the ramen chefs.
I was
And
gonna say anyone who's like giving them love and affection, no matter how scant.
yeah. Now you got to keep in mind there is another factor here, in that the fact that the twin sister is an isekai OC, and that she wouldn't be acting like a normal child.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Also, I'm tired as fuck, so I think I'm just gonna head off.
Later.
Yeah.
I'll
All right.
see you all on Tuesday.
I can
Because
do that.
I'm on summer break now. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Oh
No
shit!
one's gonna stop
He's
me.
got a gun.
Yep, I've got a gun. And I'm going to do crime.
Well, there you go.
I still
Just
need to
keep
re-find
it
that gift.
over on your side of the ocean.
Yeah, cheers.
I expect to see you
one
on the
day
news
there may
tomorrow.
be crossfire,
I
and you
want
will
you to raid
regret
Britain.
it.
I want
Inshallah,
you to,
they shall be
practice your
destroyed.
Norwegian culture.
Actually, could you do me a favor? Could you go have some disagreements with Russia? I'm sure there's some ancestral grudges you can dig up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll burn down as much as possible.
You should go
See
burn
where
Denmark.
and exactly when.
Go take out St.
Of course.
Petersburg.
Sure. Good night, boys.
Good
I'll
night.
see you on Tuesday.
I do actually want to read this story now that we've shit on it so much.
Oh
Right,
wow,
well-
okay.
Really?
Waking up as Naruto Uzumaki's sister was the last thing I expected to happen when I died.
Yes.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
Why do I have
That's
pits
very
now?
reasonable.
Yeah.
There are many things wrong here, and I'm looking at two of them.
Die. Open eyes. What? Sit up in bed. What? Naruto bursts in the room. Sister, we have to go. We're gonna be late for school. What?
Hold on, I need
Yeah.
to check something. Checks pants. Damn
Yeah.
it.
No, that's
No, wait, hang on. No, checks pants. Damn. It.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure how to take that. Yo, get this. It's like, yo, get this bread.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'll give the author that. 1 minute I was falling asleep as a college student, and now I'm waking up in an orphanage at the age of 2. No,
That would be extremely
I'm less
unfortunate.
surprised on that aspect, actually. Certainly, if there was anyone to die in their sleep, it would definitely be modern-day college students.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
100%.
probably fall asleep at their desk, so yeah.
I was more speaking on the fact that they would likely only be sleeping because despite the 8 coffees and 3 monsters they just drank, they've passed out anyway, and they suffered a heart attack after they passed out.
I was gonna say, and they still can't complete their finals on time.
Yeah. Max, I haven't slept in 3 days. My finals have been back to back. There is no time to sleep.
What is this sleep you speak of?
Man, I got some fucking looks. Let me tell you, I got some looks from my family before. Where I was like, in college, sometimes I just ate sleep. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean you ate sleep? I'm like, well, I didn't have money for lunch or dinner or breakfast. And so I just went back to bed. Can't be hungry if you're sleeping.
I mean, not strictly true, but
You can't feel hungry if you're sleeping.
correct.
I didn't realize where I was at first, and then I was shaken awake by a blonde-haired boy with bright blue eyes and whisker marks. Needless to say, I cried. You know what? Again, that's fair enough. Oh, what the fuck? I'm a 2-year-old. What the fuck's going on? This looks like an orphanage.
You know what?
Holy
I am
shit.
so allowed to cry, and I'm gonna exercise
Naruto
that.
runs into the room. Oh, no!
A realization that you have to fight a giant moon goddess later.
Yeah.
Oh god fucking damn it.
Oh, yeah, that is a
I
problem.
don't even get quick step.
Yeah, it's like, we're gonna have to go fight the biggest war against a literal chakra goddess. And I don't have any special powers! Ah!
My
Well,
special power
actually,
is that I'm here.
okay. In this case, they do though, because they're an Uzumaki. So
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's fair enough. However, you could be like Karen, who ends up as the sort of person who,
The less we talk about Karen, the better.
whose special power was,
Being a
be
dumbass.
masochist.
yeah, Karen kind of got the short end of the stick as an Uzumaki.
Yes.
Like amazing healing ability, but they have to bite you, and she has fairly low chakra reserves.
And also, you get off on it.
Ah, yes, the
Okay, as
The
far as we know,
chakra
that part
vampire.
wasn't genetic, Sneaky.
clearly the author of Naruto
Maybe it
just
was
wanted
just
to.
a really recessive gene.
I didn't say it was genetic.
That's a hell of a recessive gene, for good reasons, I should think.
She had the recessive genes. Who had the fucking dominant ones?
Sasuke.
Hey. I guess you could call it a submissive gene.
Yeah, that was my joke, Sneaky. That was the joke. Thank you for driving it even further into the ground than your future prospects of employment.
Yeah, I just wanted to help you out with that one. And you never know. I might be employed someday.
It might take a while, but yes.
Okay, and someday, Sneaky, I too might be employed. You know, in a job that I want.
Oh. Bitch, you got salary. I don't want to hear shit.
No, actually, I'm fortunate enough to not be salaried.
Oh, well, good for you.
Friendly reminder, kids, salary work is a trap.
It really is.
Yeah.
Unless that salary comes with stock options.
Remember, if you're not working hours, that means that they can work you for more hours and you won't get paid for those hours.
Well, I mean, admittedly, you know, if you are getting like triple digits and you're salaried, you know. That's
Okay, that is a rare example.
Okay, but Sneaky, that's the kind of job that's
No,
coming
it's
with
not
stock
rare.
options, as I explicitly mentioned.
I mean, usually.
Look, you're not going to get that kind of shit working at something like the Polos Somnambulus.
What?
He's making a
Breaking Bad joke.
joke.
You're not going to get that shit working at a restaurant.
Oh, okay. Obviously, you're not. Yeah, no restaurant would ever hire salad. Oh,
yeah.
Goodbye, Jen. Let's get back to it. Thankfully, I was able to act like I was sick. Not that it mattered to the orphanage staff, but it did make Naruto feel better, and that was all that mattered. My main goal in life is to protect him. I didn't have siblings in my last life, but in this one I felt a connection. It also became very clear just how much the manga left out about Naruto's life. The first time he left the orphanage was about 2 days after I woke up. It was to search for... Because the orphanage didn't feed us.
Interesting.
The orphanage in the military dictatorship.
I guess the third Hokage was even more of an asshole than we thought.
By specifically a man who has vested interest in the welfare of Naruto.
Like, even if they didn't feed her, surely they would have fed the child containing the demon container.
Well, I mean, opposite, really. They would have fed her because there's nothing wrong with her. But like arbitrarily, not only are the civilians going to randomly abuse Naruto, but they're also going to randomly abuse Naruto's sister, who is, as far
Not
as we
even
know
connected.
right now, not even a demon container.
I'm sure she will be.
Probably.
You know these kinds of authors.
Decent chance. Also, I would laugh if that connection she felt to Naruto was actually just the other half of the Kyuubi.
I hate this answer. It is wrong.
Sneaky, it was the Uzumaki's hidden incest gene.
No. I knew that was going to come up. Stop.
Wait, how did you know that was going to come up?
Because these kinds of stories
Because
always
that's all
involve
Nose
fucking
thinks
that.
about is incest.
No, it's because all these fucking fanfic stories always have that shit and you know it.
That's fair.
Yeah, don't fucking attack
Because
my
the
character
orphanage
when we've
door-
seen this
we
more than enough
didn't
time to see a
even make
fucking
it down
pattern.
the street before we were surrounded and attacked. My body was slammed onto the ground and everything was fuzzy as I tried to look around, trying to figure out who had pushed me so hard. It was a team of 2 angry civilians.
I don't think that's a team unless
A
you're playing
team
fucking team deathmatch.
of 2 people. Then they tried to hurt Naruto. Who
How would that work out for
is
him?
being surrounded likely by Anbu. Because he's a nuclear bomb. Okay.
So there's 2 of them.
I was up on my feet before I realized what was happening. My arms were crossed in front of my face to take the punch that was aimed at his head. But it never came. A pair of gentle gloved hands swept my arms away from my face. A cool healing aura passed over my head, accompanied by a green light. When I opened my eyes, I was greeted by the porcelain cat mask and purple hair. Yuagao. She gently checks me over for any other injuries before picking me up in her arms. I turn to look for Naruto, only to see him in the arms of another Anbu, the dog mask and silver hair. Kakashi. I feel myself finally relax against the woman holding me, my head falling on her shoulder. She pauses for a moment before bringing a hand to my back to comfort me. I see us approaching the orphanage and can't help but flinch into her. I feel her hair brush up against me as she turns her head. One of her arms to sign something to Kakashi. No, I plead as we got closer, desperately wishing I could communicate more clearly. You need to go inside. It's late and cold. Yuago whispers to me. Need food. Didn't you eat? I shake my head, tears making my way down my cheeks. The hunger pains, soreness, and sadness about the entire situation hit me all at once. Tai Chow, she says, her desperation clear in her voice, and then I realize I'm being carried by a child. The 4 of us are children. Children who have been thrust into a world that no child should have to. I sniffle loudly into her shoulder, holding on for dear life. She might be a child, but she's the first to acknowledge this is wrong. I don't know that.
I mean, isn't she like the first? Isn't this like the first day or something?
Yeah.
Maybe she does know.
Well, no, because she isekai'd into a 2-year-old A 2-year-old version of herself. Meaning that there was a whole 2 years for Anbu to be like, yo, hey, this orphanage isn't feeding babies. Or rarely feeding the babies. We passed the orphanage. Kakashi did not even look at it as we walked by. Instead, we went to a small grocery shop owner looked scared of the Anbu buying food. To even think about saying something mean to Naruto. Soon, though, we were snuck back through our bedroom window. One perk of us being hated, we got our own room. Naruto immediately tries to eat everything, but I have to force him to only eat a little. 1, I don't know where the hospital is if he eats too much, or if they'll even treat him. 2, I don't know when we'll get more. You literally just had food bought for you by the Anbu who have just realized, by your own words, the orphanage isn't feeding you. Do you really think these 2 Anbu characters, who are characters you know from your isekai, are just gonna let you starve?
Well, feeding them isn't really in the mission budget.
They're Anbu.
Sneaky, I'm shitposting.
I know. The stress of it all brings a new onslaught of tears after Naruto falls asleep. Eventually, I feel another presence in the room. They feel like a storm. When I look up, I see Kakashi sitting at the foot of my bed, a book in his hand. I fall asleep as the sun begins to rise to Kakashi's voice. I made it to chapter 3 of Tales of an Utterly Gutsy. The next 2 years passed much the same. As we got older, we were able to travel further. We learned to fish when our Anbu team didn't guard us. Anbu team didn't guard nuclear.
Nope. Why would they? It's not in their job description.
I see. Yeah, that's just something you would just be like, oh well, I would love to have our black ops guarding our nuclear fucking bomb, but you know, not in the cards. I guess we'll just have to leave our nuclear bomb unguarded.
Yeah, dude, you got to get kills.
Yeah.
You got to save enough money for that shuriken op next round.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's a shuriken catapult. He's gonna auto-wound on 6s.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Auto wounds on 6s. Doesn't matter where you hit them.
The shuriken machine gun.
I forgot about
Auto
that
wounds on 5s.
fucking-
Why are you making the number lower?
5 attacks, auto wounds on 5s. The
It's
orc
a
player weeps.
flying shuriken gyrocopter. Excuse me, what? Fucking the Naruto. The goddamn Naruto filler arcs were just wild. Like,
Fucking
oh,
Naruto.
they got
Naruto filler
guns!
movies.
Oh, what
were
are the guns
weird.
shoot? Kunai and shurikens.
Like, they clearly
What?
have phones. Why do they need something that isn't gunpowder used?
What?
They fucking movies. I'm thinking of something else.
No, I'm saying they had what? So why do they use gunpowder?
They had like electricity and other shit. Why don't they have gunpowder?
Oh, they did.
Yeah, so why did they use kunai for bullets?
I not know. I wish I could tell you the thought
Like, is there just like
process.
some weird shit where it's just like, oh yeah, they like use chakra more efficiently, so we put chakra in the bullets.
No, like they straight up had machine guns that civilians could that just shot kunai.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand the concept. I just don't understand why.
I don't understand the concept of why you would make a Gatling crossbow, because that's effectively what it is.
Because it looks cool. It's literally the only reason, Sneaky. This is Naruto we're talking about.
Right, but I don't get it.
I understand that you don't get it. No one gets it. I just understand why they did it in the first place.
Stop
Stop dying.
Alright, let's keep going. I finally see my reflection. Red, long, messy hair, eyes, blood, light blue, dot, blah, 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 whisker marks. Manageable, foraging, old man, Hiruzen, Sandime, Naruto was enamored. Blah, 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 dilapidated apartment, wallpaper was peeling, whole place was collapsing. We tried to fix it up, blah, blah, blah. Also, I conveniently found a frog coin purse in the nightstand that we found. Also, it had Fuinjutsu scrolls inside it. And I read those scrolls. I think it was
And I
a
learned
gift
how to
from-
do the most sacred ninja art. Mambo number 5.
Yes.
I'm gonna say everyone starts doing that like mask dance.
The author thinks it's Raya. Everyone must do the Might Guy dance, right, Max? Good talk, Max. I appreciate you adding.
Thanks, Max.
You always know
Sparkling
what to
gem.
say.
Conversation. Always.
He always knows what to say. The scroll and the books on Fuinjutsu supplies. We managed to swipe more things from the orphanage that were hidden in the nightstand. First few weeks of the apartment were quiet. We had enough money for rent and ramen. Tucci took care of us. I started collecting money that I found around the village left on the ground. After a month, I found enough to get us some basic pantry goods like cleaning supplies. I even managed to find some abandoned paint cans so we could get rid of the wallpaper. There was no sign of our Anbu guard in the village. Whenever I went out, I tried to stretch my senses. I could never find them. One day I felt them return. So magically they're a sensor. They're a chakra sensor, even though they don't know what chakra is or how to use it or how to activate it or sensing feels like. They just are! They did it! Boom. Clap. Wow. I forced myself not to run to the village gates. The last thing I need is for Donzo to find out I'm a natural sensor. I need to be middle of the road in everything. I can't protect Naruto if I'm locked en route. Well, first off,
Unfortunate.
that's a very impressive assumption that Sarutobi would allow Naruto's twin sister to be taken by Donzo. That's a very – 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。
Unfortunate.
The next day, our Anbu guards were outside of our apartment. I could feel Kakashi's storm. Yuego's warmth, and I managed to figure out the name of our last guard. Shiranui Genma. He
What in
deflected
the
a
world
coup-
did I just walk back into?
Suffering.
Suffering.
When did you leave?
You were talking about if anyone was going to die in their sleep, it'd be college students. Then I had to run downstairs around that time.
Wow, you missed a lot.
It's been like 15 minutes, yeah.
You missed a lot. Alright, so to summarize so far, the orphanage
The story is
doesn't feed
trash.
them. They have an Anbu guard, but only sometimes. And then for a solid, 6 months, the Anbu guard was sent away to go do missions, and no one replaced them.
This Anbu guard also did not inform any of the other people that the orphanage was starving them.
Yes. It took another year for Sarutobi to show up to give them a dilapidated apartment that had been abandoned.
Oh, how nice of him.
I mean, look,
No, listen,
that kind
listen.
of shit's
See,
really
Sarutobi
expensive.
actually knows what gentrification is, so he's setting them up for the future.
Look, they have a lot more spending to do, and all these ninja armies are really putting a strain on the economy.
The ninja armies are the economy.
Dude, have you ever heard supply lines, dude? That's clearly what's causing the most problems. Like, have you ever tried to feed an entire ninja army, dude?
They can literally shove
I
food.
plead the
They
fifth.
could shove 7 years worth of food.
Okay, where are they going to get the food, dude?
That's what
Well-
food pills are for. What are you talking about?
Well, A, yeah, that's what food pills are for. B, you can just squirrel away a little with every, right? 10% of every harvest when we're not at war goes to the war food.
Yeah, and due to the nature of, sealing, it would theoretically hold indefinitely. So, honestly, for all we know, the food stores in this world are like a small bank safe, and you just have to be very careful not to tear the paper.
Not only that, but you could do it so many different ways. Like a supermarket, the day before its expiration day, all of their food's collected by the government and sealed into containers. And because the food doesn't age while it's sealed away, whenever the ninja unseals it, it's still technically fresh, even though it's going to expire in a day. But because the ninja's unsealing it right now to eat it right now, doesn't matter. So the grocery stores are still capable of getting away with supply and demand stocking of food, but there's actually no food waste from the grocery stores because all of it's sealed away before it actually goes bad. Gets used by the military. Or either free, because they are living in a military dictatorship, or the government might subsidize it.
Or that's how they save on food costs and get the cheap shit at the end of the month.
Yeah, exactly.
Would there be a ninja tabloid saying, like, grocery stores hate this one trick?
Oh, absolutely.
Now I'm just imagining. How when you go to Sam's Club or Costco, they have to look through your whole cart to make sure you paid for everything because usually you're buying in bulk for a lot of stuff, so they have to go through a lot of things to make sure you didn't slip something in between the 24 pork rinds you bought.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah.
24?
I was going to say, don't they sell that in fucking 30 bulk?
Now I'm imagining in Naruto, it's there's an employee at the door that's like, another ninja. Alright, sir, I have to pat down your pockets, and you have to search the scrolls, and they're like, sir, I found a storage scroll, can you please activate it?
Sir, could you please tell me what's in the storage scroll?
Okay, let's see. There's a little bit of beef jerky, a little bit of cigarettes. So there's that
Couple
new book that came out
socks that
from
you should
Mariah.
not
Child
touch.
corpse. Wait, well, hold on a second. What was that last one? Cigarettes. No, the one after that. Cabbage.
Illegal fireworks.
I'm sorry, I'm more tickled by the idea of illegal fireworks in a world of ninja.
Oh.
Yeah, how destructive does a firework have to be illegal in the world of Naruto?
At least
Oh.
fireball jutsu level.
No, fireball jutsu is not that destructive when you compare it to some of the other
It really
fire-based
isn't.
jutsus. When they first show off fireball, like, oh yeah, this is just a basic bitch. It's not something to worry about.
It clearly has Dragon Slave in there. The original. Before anyone says anything else.
Yeah. I don't appreciate how much they nerfed Dragon Slave.
This is a spell that can undo the entire world. Oh, what does it do in Dota? 100 damage level 1. What does it do at level 4? Like 200, maybe. If you're lucky. And the stars aligned.
B. Honestly, I'm just shocked they got away with calling her Lena Inverse the Slayer. And it's like, wow, you guys, and her spells are Dragon Slave and Laguna Blade. And it's like, how has no one called copyright on this?
I mean, look, if you ask Japan about copyright, you'll unfortunately then have to bring up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and they'll stop talking to you. Like, do you know how many copyright infringements that series could cause for the entire nation of Japan?
Shotaro fought Dio in Egypt. That's the Cairo Bridge.
I was talking more about musics. And also the fact
All
the
of the
record company the record companies could literally just drag Japan into another recession.
Yeah.
Just like, oh hey, what'd you call that band? Metallica. Cool. What'd you call that stand? Metallica.
You call it stand Metalocalypse? What?
I don't think Adult Swim cares enough to sue Japan on that one.
I'm sorry. I know we're talking about JoJo right now in the middle of a Naruto fic, but I'm going to introduce another diversion here. Kotaku apparently released an article saying, "Is Elden Ring a failure of a game? It lost almost 90% of its concurrent players on Steam."
What? That's because people who played the game beat the game.
They beat the game and then they finish the game and then they stop playing. The only people who consistently play Dark Souls games are the ones that just want to go through it multiple times, and going through Elden Ring multiple times.
Weirdos like us.
And look, going through Elden Ring multiple times is fucking
launched to a great start and was strong for a long time. But it seems that losing players over time is simply inevitable.
It's a single-player game. The fact that people are allowed to leave means it's not Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
God forbid.
No, we don't want to be in this game forever.
Yeah, God forbid you don't have a perpetual game forever.
Look, if I want to play a perpetual game forever, I can just fucking install even more XCOM mods. I already have one rabbit hole I don't want to continue going down. I don't need another.
If you want a game that never ends, you play a roguelike unless you suck at it.
No, those still end.
Just
Yeah.
play
Those
Dwarf
still
Fortress.
end, but every run is different comparatively. So every time you
Yes.
play the game, it's a different run completely.
Yeah.
I suppose.
But you could play Dwarf Fortress and never have to play another game ever again.
We do not
You
talk
could
about
also
Dwarf
write an
Fortress.
autobiography. Arguably, you would accomplish about the same.
Yeah, that's true enough.
Yeah. I untangle myself. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I must have really mashed that spacebar quite a bit. The next day, our Anbu guards were outside of our apartment. I could feel Kakashi's storm and Yuago's warmth, and over the last year, I managed to figure out who the last of our guards were. Yeah, that's right. Only 3 Anbu guards were ever assigned to protecting Naruto, the nuclear bomb. Son of the 4th Hokage. Son of the last Uzumaki. Only 3 guards were ever assigned to him. Ever. And if those 3 guards were busy with other duties, they didn't assign anyone. Simply no one was assigned to him. Only those 3 people were assigned to him. Ever.
Yep, only them.
Only them. He had deflected a kunai headed for Naruto by a lazily spitting senbon out of his mouth when I was through. His chakra felt like a hurricane made of fire. I never figured out who our 4th Anbu guard was, although I was sure he was a Nara. And now I know I never will, for his chakra didn't return to the village. I felt my
Unfortunately.
own chakra flare involuntarily. I still can't control it, despite trying exercises I borrowed from the library. What you were saying, Nose?
Nothing.
Alright.
Nothing of importance to the story that
Nothing of
matters.
value will
The
ever be
team
lost.
was in the apartment within seconds. Naruto was still fast asleep in our room as the team appeared in our kitchen with me. Fat tears obscured my vision. As I collapsed in the middle of our kitchen, Yuago is immediately checking me over for injuries. I see her sign to Keishi. No injuries, unsure how to proceed. Ah, yes, she, as a 3-year-old, deciphered Anbu Sign Language. As
Yes.
a 3-year-old.
She has the power of I am the author's self-insert.
Well, I mean, if the author was college age when they died, apparently they kept those memories, could be possible.
Well, yeah, but the problem here is that sign language doesn't carry context clues, being that it's a sign language. Now, you could say, oh, well, they pointed at things, and therefore you can start making assumptions. And while that's true for a civilian sign language, if you've ever looked at military sign language before, that shit
Can't
is
tell shit.
obscure as fuck. None of it has any symbolism, and that's on purpose. It's so people who are watching you don't know what you just did.
Okay, reading ahead, I think we know how this character learned the sign language, actually.
Let me guess. They taught it to her.
Yeah, seems pretty likely based on the interactions occurring.
Of course. Obviously. My bad. The Black Ops would obviously teach her the 2-year-old, now 3-year-old, now 4-year-old, military sign language. Specifically the Black Ops variant. Because again, as you are Black Ops, you can't exactly let anyone else know anything you're doing. Because what you're doing technically never happened. So, yeah. I'm gonna casually teach the 4-year-old Black Ops sign language. Not even normal military sign language, the Black Ops variant. Sure. She crouches in front of me and I can't stop myself. I fling myself into his arms. I hold on to him tightly, burying my head in his neck. He sighs back. What's wrong? I hear a shuffle in the room. The new Anbu is most likely surprised that Kakashi actually talked to me. Tears gone, I manage to stutter out between sobs. All of the Anbu in the room deflate. Their chakra turns somber. It solidifies it. He's not just off the team, he's dead. The realization makes it worse, and my head begins to pound as I struggle to take in breaths. Shush, Ki-chan. Kakashi tries to soothe me, but it doesn't work. He sighs, moving us so that I'm sitting in his lap, and soon he's reading me Kunoichi Moon, a kid series much like Sailor Moon from my previous life. It takes a little over a chapter before I finally settle
We're trying to
down.
keep the ninja hidden. What do we do with this show? We'll just call it after our hidden group. Won't that cause problems? No.
No, everyone knows about the ninja. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, like, Kanochi Moon, that just seems kind of like too on the nose. I don't know.
Female ninja are called kunoichi.
I don't know, dude.
They've literally always been called that in the show.
And don't civilians like not know too much about the ninja or something? I don't fucking.
Look, if the show is saying, if the author is saying Kunoichi Moon is basically a Naruto version of Sailor Moon, that means it's going to be A, propaganda, obviously. B, oh look, the Konoha Shinobi, specifically the Kunoichi in this case, are fighting against the demons to protect civilians. Or, hypothetically, instead of demons, it would probably be something like today's flavor of enemy. So Cloud, Kiri,
Yeah.
Iwa. Oh, this Iwa ninja secretly was spreading sealing scrolls around to civilians that would sap their life force, and the Kunoichi squad stopped them. It literally gives nothing away. In fact, it just makes Konoha look better. Anything. Objection overruled!
Understandable.
The only sounds in the apartment are my quiet sniffles and Nora's muffled snores. Ma, your brother should have done the sound effects for the boat rescue chapter. That turned my sniffles into giggles as I pulled my head up, wiping my eyes. That's not nice, Inu-san. Genma snorts from his seat at the table, his feet propped on top of it. And feet off the table, Panda knee. I felt a vague twinge of surprise in the chakra of the new Anbu in the room. Which apparently this person has something against capitalizing Anbu, even though it's supposed to be an abbreviation.
Yeah.
I finally moved to look at him as he stands by the window. His dark brown hair peeks over his cat mask. Wait. Hat mask? Isn't Ulago cat?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I thought
dude.
Yuga was supposed to be the cat.
Yeah, that should be.
If anything, he would be Deer. Because Deer's now dead. They need a new Deer. I'm drunk and I managed to figure that one out. I'm like genuinely drunk. I'm like, oh,
How deep it are you?
I
swear to God, if you answer yes, I'm gonna just go fuck it.
4 fingers.
Understandable.
Yeah. Um. Uh. His chakra feels like the trees in the forest around Konoha. He shifts from one foot to another ever so slightly. He's nervous. And so am I. Because Yamato, well, at this point, he still goes by Tenzo. Looks like he's ready to bolt. Why would you be nervous? Oh, the Anbu's about to run out of the room because he's nervous. I am also nervous because he's nervous.
Completely rational thing to be.
Well, normally, but you're the reason why he's nervous. It's like if someone walks into the room and you're like punching someone a bunch, but everyone knows that you and the person you're punching are like best friends, and so they don't get into the middle of the quote-unquote fight because you're not actually punching him a bunch. You're like punching him, but you're not actually punching him. And he walks into the room as the new employee, not knowing that you're not actually beating the shit out of someone. And then he's like, oh my god, do I run out of the room? Like, why would you be like, oh my god, is he gonna run out of the room? Like, why would you be nervous? It's not like the guy is gonna attack you. It's not like if he runs off to the boss, you're actually gonna get in trouble. Literally everyone knows that you're just fucking around. Now, admittedly, if you're fucking around when you shouldn't be fucking around, I could get on you being nervous, but, you know, if you're on break and you're punching your friend, you know, what's the boss gonna do? Oh, you know, don't do that. Yeah, like, if you're in a situation where the Anbu is either a potential ally or a potential enemy and he's acting all nervous, I can understand you being nervous. But if he's either a bystander or a friend, and he's acting nervous because you're fucking around, not because you're about to be attacked, not because of anything that you should genuinely be nervous over, but because you're fucking around and he's acting all like, oh man, oh shit, what do I do here? Oh man, they're fucking around. Well, what do you have to be nervous of? Nothing. Weird. I untangle myself from Kakashi's arms as Uego and Genma fight over the newspaper. I slowly walk over to Tenzo. He tenses as I stand at his feet. But I ignore it. Instead, I hold my arms up expectantly. He just stares out at me until Genma's laughter fills the room. Just pick her up, Neko. She'll wait all day there if you don't. He knows from experience. Kakashi supplies from the spot on the floor. Right, so this is another thing. How much exactly is being transferred over to this child? Is this a 4-year-old child with the experiential memories of a college student? Or is this a college student who is now a 4-year-old child? Because it's incredibly difficult to fake a stutter and sound genuine. Especially if the people you're trying to fake a stutter to are Black Ops agents.
Yeah.
So if this child is stuttering, if this child is crying, if this child is giggling, I don't think this is being portrayed as an isekai. This is less of a college student that ended up as a 4-year-old, and more of a 4-year-old that has past memories of once being a college student.
Well, reincarnation isekais are a thing.
Well, yes, but there is a distinct difference between the personality and mental faculties of a grown adult being placed in a child's body versus a child in a child's body having access to information the grown adult knew. Major difference between the two. And even if you can get away with the second one in terms of how they would sometimes act, because children do in fact act like they know everything. So you can get away with the child acting extremely confident in certain scenarios because they totally know what's about to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then they can go revert back to acting like a child because they're like, oh my god, I don't understand what happened, how did this happen, what's going on. That is perfectly understandable. But this author is not making it clear as to which one we're supposed to be approaching the story from. Because how they framed it all is, I was a college student that woke up as a child. And unless the big hidden twist later on is supposed to be, I'm actually a child that remembered being a college student, how they've portrayed the child so far is very much as a child. But under the premise of them being a college student. So it's very mixed signaling, I suppose I'll say. Anyway, so we're gonna start accelerating through this. Blah blah blah. Walnut onigiri. Blah blah blah. Acting like a child. Acting like a child. Of course, you turn out to be a censor. Gotta cause trouble. Blah blah. She'll hit you. No, I won't. Natural deception. One hell of a shinobi. I couldn't help but preen at the praise of being an awesome shinobi. So yeah, again, I'll give the author credit. If the goal of this story is to subtly hint at the fact that it's not an isekai, where it's actually a reincarnation, and where the child is remembering memories of a previous life and not the previous life asserting itself as the child, then they're doing an actually really good job of portraying childish behavior. But again, the premise was told to us is that it's a college student who woke up as a child. But so far, all I've seen in this chapter is a child that remembered they were once a college student.
So we're not really getting what was advertised.
Effectively. But also at the same time, I'm not really sure how much that's actually going to really change the story now. Just because the child knows the general plot of Naruto doesn't mean anything, really. They are a child with a child's mentality and a child's approach to things. Their ability to plan is effectively non-existent. Their ability to react is effectively non-existent. Like, if they were genuinely a college student that woke up as a child and realized they were in the Naruto verse, then the author should have this child who is a college student, not remembering they were one, who is a college student. They should be freaking the fuck out and then immediately diving headfirst into trying to train their chakra. But what we have instead is half-hearted, childish attempts at chakra training, and it's only been mentioned like once or twice that they tried some of the exercises that they saw in a scroll one time, and it got them nowhere. Like, nothing about, no comments, like how you would show this in this instance of the child not being a child but actually a college student who knows the plot of Naruto and who knows what they have to fight at the end of the plot of Naruto. The college student would be training every day, or at least attempting to train every day, and all you would have to do is have one of the Anbu, who you've apparently made a human connection with, is have one of the Anbu mention about how they're surprised that you aren't tired yet already because you usually train every day or something. And that's all you would have to do to show that the child is in fact not a child, but a college student who is currently a child. But that's not what happened. Instead, what happened was the author mentioned how they, as a child, knew from their college student memories about the big bad and how they went to the library one time and they found a scroll one time with a bunch of exercises in it and how they tried the exercises but they're somehow not better yet. Very childish way of explaining it, very childish way of expectations, a very childish manner overall. So it's a very mixed message situation. We're now 5 years old. My years of not having to worry about the screwed up plot of Naruto has come to an end. Why? So again, this is a very mixed message. So they know about the messed up plot of Naruto, but instead of training, they kind of just were like, I'm just going to act as a child. Despite the fact that I don't know if I have any superpower, I don't know if I have any special bloodline ability, and I won't train any of my chakra until I'm 5, arbitrarily.
Makes sense.
Despite knowing I have to effectively fight God at the age of 17, I'm going to proceed by doing nothing until I'm 5. Why 5? Why is 5 their cutoff for when they need to start training? That makes no sense to me. I straighten my clothes. Uzumaki symbol. I put my hair in twin buns. Blah blah blah. Only good thing to come out of our visits with the Hokage was the gift of journals. Although it was framed as a gift, they were rightfully ours. So again, this is a child's thought process of, oh, these are Uzumaki journals. They rightfully belong to us, the Uzumaki, etc., etc. And it's like this is a child's method of thought. If you are a college student, you wouldn't be, and you were isekai as an Uzumaki, you wouldn't be like, oh yes, the only good thing coming out of the Hokage's visits was the fact that he returned our blood heritage to us. No. No, come on, no. That's a child. Bro, that's a child thinking that. That's a child with knowledge that is beyond them thinking that. That is not a college student thinking that. Blah blah blah, loved ramen, blah blah blah, nutritional foods, blah blah blah, academy. Our Anbu team is walking into the academy. Only this time they're not Anbu. Genma smirks and winks at me. I blush at him.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Not a little bit, a lot.
I'm gonna totally prank him later. So, again, Max. So remember my rant from earlier about genetics and just arbitrarily assigning certain characteristics to the personality.
Yes.
Here we are. Apparently, despite their massively different circumstances, where they're far closer to the Ranbu team, and Naruto has a sister, and that sister is apparently an isekai college student. She also is genetically a prankster.
You know,
Who loves pranks.
Dinner.
I really miss when the prankster personality was literally just him, you know,
Being Naruto.
yeah, just wanting attention.
Yeah.
That we
But
were
now
told
it's
early
like,
on.
oh,
That's why he does this. He wants attention. That's the only way he can get it.
Which made it like super dark and like on the surface it was light, but on like if you looked beyond it, it was like, oh shit. Only reason why he's a prankster is because he was never given attention, and so any attention is good attention, and all that shit. And it's like, oh, oh okay, you know. But yeah, well, now it's all about genetics. Man, those Japs, the Japs really never gave up on the whole genetics thing, did they?
Oh.
Sitting in the front row, Uchiha. He sweat droops.
Of course, it's a sweat droop.
Is this seat taken? Do you mind if I take it? Yes. You're not allowed to sit here. He sweat droops, and then I start giggling at him. Haha, you can actually sit here, Uchiha-san. I manage between my laughs. Oh wow, big prank. Haha. Hee. And Shisui's here for some reason. Itachi's also here in the Ninja Academy. In the same room and grade as Sasuke and Naruto. Because reasons. And stuff. Time for my pranks. I'm gonna go get bleach and I'm gonna bleach people. Haha, big pranky.
Isn't.
Let me know if you want to prank people. Wow, you like pranks too? Of course I do. This is gonna be a start of a great relationship. Oh, by the way, the OC twin sister also has Kushina's verbal tick. Titabane. A cursed image has entered my mind. Orochimaru with Pegasus speaking. Hello there, Sasuke boy. Yes. Yeah. I mean, they kind of went with that early on, but then they switched off of that when later episode. Anyway, so that was cringe as hell, and the author was kind of really scatterbrained, and I'm not really sure if you should be dropping hints that early.
Yeah. I also noticed the self-insert. It's like, I gotta find a way to stop the Uchiha massacre. I'm like, I don't know. They were planning a full coup. A very
Yeah.
violent coup.
Very violent coup.
I mean, to be fair,
So
Naruto's not the worst place to isekai into
Eh,
or reincarnate into.
It's definitely
Look, at least
yeah,
he's in the fucking darkest dungeon universe.
okay.
Like, I know
Look,
that's an
so
extreme,
no,
but
no,
he
okay,
also fights the most.
yes. There's lots of worse places you can isekai into. Yet at the same time, those universes are more directly horrible than Naruto, but Naruto is the sort of universe that's very much existential dread because it's like if you don't get isekai'd as Naruto, first off, there's no guarantee you're gonna live past the Kaguya event. You know? So that first off, there's that. But then second off, if you don't get a bloodline limit and you're one of those average Joe ninjas, you are gonna have to work your ass off above and beyond to end up surviving, not even beating, but surviving shit like pain, the Akutsuki in general, normal missions that you have to go on, and Madara Uchiha showing up at one fucking point, the Fourth Ninja War, and God! Like, there is a lot of shit you just fundamentally might possibly never be capable of even fighting against if your circumstances of birth aren't stars aligning in Naruto. It's sort of like being born as a farmer on an agri world in Warhammer that's about to be invaded by chaos. Like
Look, if you're in an
you don't
agri
even
world and
have
you're about to be invaded
training.
by chaos, you're fucked.
Yeah, like, that's my point is though. Like, you don't even have training. You maybe at best you have a gunpowder based gun. At best.
And if not, you have a fucking stick.
Yeah.
Which, of course, the Imperial Guard handbook will tell you is perfectly able to handle Tyranids.
Yeah. At worst, you have a sharp stick. And your planet's about to be invaded by chaos Tyranids, possibly and or orcs, and it might also be a Necron homeworld. You are just beyond fucked, and there's no amount of training that you could ever do that could make you get unfucked, and it's just an existential dread of not if you will die, but when.
I mean, even if you have the Astartes with you, you're also possibly fucked.
Yeah,
Especially if it's the Lamenters.
but
If
the
you have
point-
the Lamenters with you, you are so beyond fucked.
But my point being, though, is that if you were, say, for example, isekai'd as an Astartes, you have a better chance than Joe Farmer, the agri-world farmer with no training, no gun, and no hope. You know?
It really depends on what area you actually
Well,
get dropped into as well.
Yeah, obviously, the point still remains is that as a space marines can live for literally centuries. So clearly, the attrition rate on space marines, while significant in terms of our numbers, isn't even a drop in the bucket in terms of Warhammer 40k numbers. And so you actually have a decent chance of actually living for a human lifespan at worst. Unless, you know, you get incredibly unlucky and you get, like, your chapter that's the Eye of Terror or some shit. But, like, if you are a new recruit in the Space Marines and you made it through all the trials and you're just, like, in the Black Templars or some shit.
Oh God, no! Black Templars have such a high attrition rate. It's not even funny.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. But you know, you're Imperial Fist then or something. Like I don't know, man. Like
Imperial Fists also have a
basic
pretty
bitch
fucking high
Ultramarines.
turnover rate.
Just basic bitch Ultramarines. We'll go with that.
Sure, basic bitch Ultramarines. Yeah, you actually have a chance of living a decent lifespan. And even if you do die, there's a decent chance that you'll be fighting your way to your death and not just dying because whatever you're fighting is just so overwhelmingly powerful you never had a chance of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, compared to basic Imperial Guard, the Marines are better off. They also get dropped into the worst fighting. They have better gear to withstand that, though.
Yeah, better training.
I was gonna say they have
better gear, better biology.
They also have zero fear.
They have redundant biology as well.
Yeah, and like, so it really depends on what your isekai is. But
Yeah.
the Naruto world is pretty terrible unless you end up with a bloodline, because there's effectively nothing you
You're
can.
handicapped.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, there's effectively nothing you can do. There is not a single thing you can change in the timeline that'll prevent Madara from being Madara.
Unless you were literally born prior to the Warring Clan era.
Oh yeah, but then at that point, it doesn't even fucking matter what happens
because you're
you'll be
not even
dead
Naruto.
Well, no, but
it's not even Naruto.
Yeah, well, yes, but that doesn't matter. You'll be dead of old age by the time anything post-Warring Clan era comes about. Then, like, there's a reason why everyone was shocked that Madara was still alive, because he should be dead of old age. It wasn't even like a, oh my god, I can't believe he's been alive this long. This is a profession that kills people. No, it was literally, holy shit, by normal human lifespans of normal human living, how is he alive?
You are 3 generations ins or whatever the fuck it would be. Because
no, because you gotta keep in mind, Sarutobi was the second disciple. And Sarutobi is like, what, 60, 70 years old?
He's an old man by the time him of that, yeah.
rolls around, yeah. And so that would put the first and second Hokage at what, like 80, 90 years old at best?
They would probably be in their 20s to 40s, somewhere between there.
Yeah, and so Madara's the same age as them. So Madara's anywhere between actually being 80 to 100 years old in a world where herbal medicine is still considered the premier medical technology, right next to using chakra to magic wounds shut.
Yeah.
So the average person isn't exactly going to be living into their 110s. Especially not a ninja. Anyway. It's past 9 o'clock. I've gone on my rant, so you got your rant for the evening. It is time to close up shop, and we'll see you guys all next time. Because there is, unfortunately, always more, and it always gets worse.